Sometimes on the second of the month, I'll film an E2M video, edit it, and publish it that day. Other times, I'll film the video or some of the footage for the video, and I'll save it. I'll get back to it later. I'll edit it and publish it a month later or several months later. I don't release one on the second of every month, but I try to do it as often as possible. In a lot of my videos, I'm out open carrying, I'm walking the dog, but sometimes weather or my schedule doesn't permit that to happen on the second of the month. There are other things that I can do on the second of the month to help promote the Second Amendment. I could attend a Second Amendment rally, but those are few and far between, and having one happen on the second of the month is even more rare. I could go to a Second Amendment related event like NRAM if it happened to fall on the second of the month, or Rod of Iron Freedom Festival or something like that, or attend a gun tuber type event like Thunder on the Prairie. I could go to the range if I went by myself and brought my tripod to film some YouTube videos. That could spark a conversation. Maybe I bring something that somebody sees and they've always wanted to shoot it and they ask me, hey, can I shoot that? Absolutely. Or maybe I see somebody there who's maybe having some issues with a firearm and I help them out a little bit. Or take somebody to the range who's never shot a gun before and they're scared, but they trust you to show them how to handle it safely. I've done that before, and it's a really good time for both of us. Or maybe it's family range day where we all go to the range together. That's always a good time. Regardless of what I do, I try to be a law-abiding citizen and a responsible gun owner when I'm out advocating for the Second Amendment and representing other law-abiding citizens who are responsible gun owners. Maybe I go to a gun show, or maybe I just hang out with some of my gun buddies, or maybe I purchase a firearm. And that's exactly what I did on April 2nd, 2024. So for a long time, I've wanted a BM-59. It was Italy's standard battle rifle for decades. It's based off of the M1 Garand, and it's something that has been imported into this country in its original version in small quantities, as well as had different semi-automatic reproductions made here by different companies since 1962. Now, 2 years ago, James River Armory offered a semi-automatic version of it, and I really wanted to get it, but the price was higher than what I ordinarily would pay for a rifle. So I kind of went back and forth with it for about 3 weeks before I decided to, pun intended, pull the trigger on it. At that point, they were sold out. I contacted James River Armory, and they said they didn't plan to make any more of them. I went on Gunbroker, and these new rifles had doubled in price overnight, and I just didn't want to pay that much for it. So what I did was I got in contact with a gentleman in New Jersey who is a gunsmith who specializes in M1 Garands. And he had some BM-59s that he had machined out of M1 Garands to the BM-59E version, which is a version that Italy reworked for the Argentinian military. So I bought that, which I thought was going to be as close as I was ever going to get to a BM-59 Mark I. Actually, at the time, I was looking at a select fire version of the BM-59. I almost bought that NFA item, but I decided that I just didn't want that one. Maybe one day I'll revisit that, but I was okay with getting the BM-59E. But I still really wanted that Mark I. This year, James River Armory started making the semi-automatic version of the Mark I again. The only difference between that rifle and the rifle you see here on the table is that rifle has select fire and a stripper clip guide. Otherwise, they're identical. So I decided I wasn't going to think it over for 3 weeks. I was going to move on it. And I ordered the rifle on the 2nd of the month. And I don't regret getting it. I don't regret getting the E model either. As a matter of fact, I was thinking maybe this might start a trend. In addition to collecting some more M1 Garands, because I've only got one of those and I'd like to get a few more, maybe I should look around for the BM62 or the BM69, or maybe even, like I said, at some point, decide to get that NFA item. I don't know. I really don't know what the future holds, but I finally got my James River Armory BM59, and I'm glad that I did. Now, I haven't taken this out to the range yet, but I do plan to do that, as well as do some videos over time. I don't know when I'll start publishing them. I've only shot one video about the BM59, but hopefully in the future I can make the time and I can get out there and I can do some things with it, and maybe somebody out there who's interested in collecting these as well might find my videos useful. So that's just one way to share and one way to be a good ambassador for the Second Amendment. On the 2nd of the month, or really any day of the month, it's up to all of us to be good representatives. And sometimes doing something as simple as purchasing a firearm lawfully, responsibly, is all it takes. Thanks for watching.